What's up, everyone? This is the officially unofficial Geek channel, Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review. My name is Carrie Quinn. I'm here to give you the comics. I'm here to tell you what I thought of them, and I'm going to do it all in brilliant Spoilertastic vision. You know what that means. Roll that intro and let's get into it. Yes, 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 we are here giving you the Spoilertastic Weekly Comic Review as I do. So basically, what's going on here? What does it mean to be spoilertastic? Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay that out for you real quick because, as you know, the officially unofficial Geek channel has been nominated for an award with the CBC Awards.org. So there's probably going to be a little bit more traffic. I'm anticipating possibility of more traffic to the channel. So what I want to do is kind of just, for those of you that are new, give you a little bit of a crash course in what spoilertastic means. Spoilertastic means is, wow, the sun is like showing all my hair that is like that I've shed today. That's crazy. Anyways, spoilertastic basically means this. Um, so I talk about anything and everything that I feel is relevant for my review, and that could include spoiling details of this past week's books. So if you have not read all your books, please pause this video, come back to me when you're done, and we'll have a grand old time together talking about the comics. Usually, what I do is I will talk about all the comics. I will highlight my top three as my top comics. I'm gonna get my beverage here, and as usual with the sparkling water in a bottle like this, you can never just open it, right? Yeah. There we go. There we go. Mm. So let's get into this. Okay. So again, we had a situation with hashtag damn you diamond where I didn't get everything I was supposed to get. Mhm. Mhm. But I decided I was going to go ahead and get one of those books that I did not get on Comixology so that I can still talk about it with you today. So stay tuned for that one. That'd be the only one I'm not sitting here hoisting up a book to show you, you know. But I'll try to show you what I can of that one. Like I said, let's get into this. This is a spoiler-tastic review. These are not a lot this week, mind you. The comics that I read this week. You may have already seen what I think about some of these books in a nutshell on the Pop Culture Philosophers Monthly Comic Review that just came out on Thursday. Um, so this is going to give you a little bit more insight into what exactly I'm thinking, feeling, and all that jazz with these books. So, yes, I will be talking about some of these books for a second time, um, but hopefully, I'm going to give you something a little bit extra than what you had before, and keep it entertaining, keep it light, keep it entertaining. Let's do this. First book I'm going to talk about today is Saturday Morning Adventures, Dungeons and Dragons, IDW Endless Summer. I really enjoyed. Um, this is by Brewer, Lawrence, and Burcham. I really enjoyed the little mini series that we got of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon book. This is just a one shot. This is just one one and done, and it's just exactly what it is. It's a good little palate cleanser. I read it after another kind of heavier book, um, so that I can use it as a palate cleanser. I love books like this because when you're done reading all the serious stuff, you can get into this and it's very silly. Um, it really captures the feel and everything of the original series. And I'm gonna try to change a little bit of this the white balance here, and that might look a little bit better, even though I look kind of yellowish. Okay, I'm trying, guys. Okay, so basically, what's going on in this is it's a one shot. It is a self contained story where they basically, the adventurers from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon decide they're going to take a little summer vacation where they run into a young bronze dragon whom has been under the influence of Tiamat. Now, Tiamat is an evil five-headed dragon that has been telling this bronze dragon that adventurers are bad and adventurers will be coming to steal your treasure. And if you know anything about dragons, in Dungeons and Dragons, they have treasure. And well, the kids have to save the bronze dragon from some ropers, and well, they try to convince it that they're like not what Tiamat says. They get the bronze dragon to believe them, and the bronze dragon helps them um, briefly um, subdue Tiamat so they can get away. That is basically the gist of the entire book. It was a light, fun read. I love Dungeons and Dragons, and if you do, and if you're familiar with the cartoon, then go ahead and pick this up. It was just a lot of fun, definitely worth your time. A good palate cleanser, like I was saying. So if you've read something completely heavy, and here comes the sun again. If you read something completely heavy this past week and you want to just kind of lighten stuff up a little bit, well then that's the ticket right there. That one is the one. That's what you get into, and you can enjoy it that way. Um, I am filming this at like 4:49 Eastern time, and this is par for course about this, around this time, um, where the sun is just really getting nasty. But I wanted to take the opportunity to go ahead and record, so I apologize if it looks really bright. Next book that I'm going to talk about is DC Night Terrors Night's End. This is the conclusion to the DC Night Terrors event. It was across all of the books, and if it wasn't going to be involved, that it took a time out. So if a book wasn't going to be involved in Night Terrors, it took a little bit of a time out. You didn't have any books for it during this time. So this, who's responsible for this one? Well, we've got Williamson, Porter, Camicoli, Harrison, Nezzi, Burado, and Martin. And this cover, this absolutely beautiful cover, has been done by Howard Porter in Hi-Fi. Gorgeous, gorgeous, wonderful. Howard Porter and all the other artists on this book certainly read the assignment. They understood the assignment. They did this. There was some really crazy looking horror fantastical art in these books. It's actually, we've had some lackluster events via DC lately over the last couple of years. And I gotta tell you, Night Terrors as a whole really delivered. There were good and bad points of everything, but what I can say is overall I was impressed. Um, the main title of the Night Terrors books, the main title, not necessarily talking about all the the side title, not the side titles. What is the word I want to say? What am I trying to say? And I'm losing it. I've lost it, folks. Um, the tie-ins. Not all the tie-ins were really all that great, but some of them were pretty okay. Last week, I was talking about Detective Comics being pretty all right. Um, really enjoyed the Detective Comics one. Um, what I'm gonna say is what I really liked about this is the fact that it could have implications for time to come. We have stuff tying it to the dawn of DC, and now we're going to be picking that back up. We're going to have, actually, in this video, we're going to be talking about the beginnings of the Gotham War. Just hold on to that for a moment. Um, but there's going to be things that are going to be tying in to the rest of the DC universe. It's not like we're doing this event and like, okay guys, we're done. Bye. Okay. All right. Back to the what's, what now. There's it seems like there might actually be it seems like there might actually be some kind of overcompassing effect on the DC universe with this tale. Yes, thank you very much. We have, guys, we made it through. We made it through. We made it through Night Terrors. But basically, what you got here at the end is everyone starts waking up and they have to fight the nightmares that are actually in the real world at this point, not just in their heads while they're asleep. Everybody's coming together to do their thing. And at the end, damn, Batman, his if you've been following Night Terrors, Deadman was using Batman's body to kind of just, negotiate everything. And when Deadman finally vacates Batman's body and stays out, Bruce Wayne like goes into like a little bit of a coma. Like, and so you're gonna find out that if you're reading the Gotham War, especially the beginning, the battle, I think it's called Battle Lines, yeah, Battle Lines issue that we're gonna be talking about in a few minutes. The cat is out of the bagel in regards to the fake Luke Skywalker hand. Um, so the cat's out of the bag. We'll talk about it more. Obviously, he could not hide the fact that he had a fake hand, that he had a new mechanicalized hand when he spent a little time in a coma. And we'll talk later on about exactly how long that coma was. Guys, he was knocked the fuck out. Um, and in the end, what ends up happening is Deadman really just sacrifices himself in a way um, to reverse everything, reverse all the damage that had been done with the Nightmare Stone. And now, basically, I mean, I'm not exactly sure, but I think Deadman, they were alluding to the fact that Deadman is kind of gone. Um, So that's kind of sad if that's true. But they also kind of alluded to the fact that maybe he's never ever really gone. So I hope that is true because I was really enjoying the character of Deadman and how they were interacting with the environment and the story, and how they kind of became a hero yet unlikely as well. I was really enjoying Sandman, the resurgence of the Golden Age Sandman. Um, that was pretty cool. Um, and I'm hearing rumblings that we're going to be getting some more Sandman. Actually, we're going to be getting some more of that Sandman coming soon. So hopefully that's true. Um, oh golly, yeah. So overall, we've had a very successful storyline that is going to have implications, which is great. Not a wasted page on this book. And yes, it's not one of my top books this week, but I'm going to say not a wasted page on this book. Um, I think maybe I could have gotten a little bit of an emotional connection. If I want to do anything, if I have any criticisms of it whatsoever, I would like to say that I feel like I should have had a more of an emotional connection with the sacrifice of Dead Man. However, um, there was not much of a magical emotional connection there. I'm an emotional person, and I feel like I should have had more of an emotional reaction with the sacrifice of Dead Man. Um, but I mean, it's sad, but I wasn't crying or anything. So that tells me, because I cry really easily, y'all, I cry really easily, and I did not do it at the end of this book. But that's okay. It was still very, very good. Um, we have the clouds coming in and out today. Um, support the officially unofficial geek channel, and she might actually do something to control the lighting situation because she'll be able to afford it. So support the officially unofficial geek channel. Get me up to that 1,000 subscriber mark so that I may monetize this channel and not have to be sitting here making all these adjustments constantly. Oh my goodness. The white balance here. Ooh. Ah, you know what? That'll have to do for now. That'll have to do for now. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about Blade #2, and this is one of those books that was brought up on Thursday for the monthly comic review on Pop Culture Philosophers channel, and I can't remember off the top of my head who brought it up. It was not me because at the time that we were talking about it, I hadn't gotten to read this yet. So let's talk about Blade now in um, in a little bit more detail here on my end here, okay? So this is done by Hill, Casagrande, Poggi, and Belair. Um, one of the things that I was able to notice um, that was a slight criticism that was brought out about Blade was involving some kind of murky looking coloring, which is totally um, outside of the usual abilities of Jordi Belair. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on here with that. I'm hoping that maybe there was a problem with printing, um, because in particular, the darker tones mixing with some of the lighter tones, there's no depth. The depth is kind of weird, especially in certain circumstances where you would like a little bit more of a play with monochromatic scale in certain areas, and it just it wasn't there, and it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I know this person is capable of better work, so I'm wondering if maybe there was a problem with printing or what have you. I don't necessarily want to just throw the blame on Jordi Belair right away because Jordi Belair is very usually on the ball, you know. So I'm not gonna sit here and throw flame and blame and all that shit on Jordi Belair because usually Jordi Belair is pretty on the ball. So I'm thinking maybe there might be a printing issue or what have you. Let me know what you think in the comments about some of the murkiness that's happening in Blade 2. However, the story has been very interesting. I've been wanting a Blade comic for a while, and we had the Vampire Nation one shot, and I was hoping that that was going to be an ongoing, but then I found out it was a one shot, and that disappointed me. Then we had Bloodline, which was actually pretty decent. Um, however, I think it's more tuned to and would be more beneficial for someone of a certain age group, of a YA age group. That would be a really good book. I mentioned it before on this channel to bring people in, uh, teenage girls that like vampires into comics. You know they exist. I was one of them. Um, Anyways, now we have this. We have an actual Blade book. This is issue 2, and I have the fun. I had the fun reading this thing because um I like Blade. I like Blade. I like vampires. And I like Blade. Thank you very much. But here's the deal. Here's what's going on. Here's what's happening. So Blade unwittingly um, did a favor. Like it was that whole "you owe me" kind of thing um, for somebody that he knew that he had a debt to, like the "you owe me" thing, and he got tricked. Blade got tricked, basically. And he went to save someone that was a bad guy and killed the guy that was going to kill the bad guy. And now he's trying to hunt down the actual bad guy with the help of somebody from the good guys, even though the good guys overall that were trying to hunt down the bad guy didn't quite like Blade either. But one person decided she was going to use Blade and get help from Blade to figure out what to do to take care of the situation. And so Blade's like, alrighty. So then what we got here in this issue is Blade is, and that was a little bit of the last issue because I didn't get a chance to talk about the last issue on my show because I was a little bit behind on things. But this issue, we have the continuation of the story where Blade seeks out his ex, Tulip. Tulip is a fancy, magical, occult arms dealer, basically, and she's got her own issues, people after her. But she, is looking like she's going to help Blade and this girl um, take care of the messy situation they're in. However, plot twist, um, plot twist, wrench in the plan. Everybody look to your left and see that Tulip is now being taken by one of her enemies, one of the people after her. So now Blade and the girl from this, like it seems like a kind of like a monk priest class kind of thing, has to go and help Tulip. We'll see what happens there. Anyways, woo, guys, we have made it to my top 3 books of the week. Everybody, if you're home, just go woo. Just for a moment, just go woo. Hands in the air. Wave around your comics like you just don't care and you don't think that they're going to have any monetary value worth a damn in 6 months. While I take a drink, and then we'll talk about my top 3 comics. Woo! Ooh. Let's do this. So let's go ahead and get this over with right now. This is a book that I talked about on the monthly comic review. Let me see if I can get this to kind of show up on the screen. Um, it's on the screen. It's not on paper because um, hashtag damn you, Diamond. I did not have this available to me this week. Now, it's an Image book, and Image is now making the transition to Lunar. Thank the gods, because we needed that to happen, particularly with Image, because oh my goodness, let everyone else, either let Diamond pull their head out of their asses and actually do something about the problems they've been having, or let everybody else follow suit with Image, DC, whatever. I don't even necessarily need them to go to Lunar. I mean, they could go to Penguin for all I care, but I just would like my books when I'm supposed to have them. Diamond. Yeah. Diamond's not going to be a problem anymore. As it pertains to how I get my comics, Diamond will not be a problem anymore. I know this. And yeah, they will not be a problem anymore. Um, But I have to say, throughout all of this, my LCS, Circle City Comics on 86th Street in Indianapolis, Indiana, has been really great about helping me out, getting stuff that I need, um, getting me doing the best they can for me, and making sure I have the information I need to know what's going on. So if you're in the Indianapolis area and you need a comic book shop, I thoroughly recommend Circle City Comics, which actually right now they're getting ready to move, so they got a pretty awesome moving sale going on. They're moving at the end of this month, and they'll be in a new, bigger, nicer place apparently. So um, I really like the shop, and the people that work there are pretty awesome. So if you're in the Indianapolis area and you're looking for a shop, check them out because they with all the problems that we've been having um, with uh, with Diamond messing up not only on their shipments but also in their computer system and the previews pull box functions. Um, they've been really helping me out and keeping me, knowledgeable on all situations involving the books because yeah, I mean, I'm here doing reviews. But anyways, guys, let's talk about World Tree issue 5. This is James Tynion, Blanco, Belair again. Woo! And this is a great book with the coloring. Okay, let's take a looky here. Jordy Belair. This coloring is absolutely gorgeous. Good on you, Jordy. And this is looking much better than Blade was looking. Um, some pretty awesome stuff. So a lot of like a lot of blues and um, triad coloring. Like uh, this is kind of like, with the exception of like hair and everything like that, this is very monochromatic. And then you have this very weird like triad um, warmness here. But then you've got like stuff like that. That's absolutely gorgeous. Um, and I can't show you the other pages that I want to show you because there's boobies. There's boobies, y'all. This is a booby book. There's boobies in it. Um, so we do this thing, and this is the end of um, this arc. So I'm imagining we're going to take a little bit of a break. Hopefully we do not take too much of a break because man, absence does not make the heart grow fonder. Do not take too long of a break with this. Make sure that you get this back because I got to tell you that there's some books where the absence or just the whole idea of it taking a while for next books and next books and next books to come in. Um, it doesn't help when you're reading a shit ton of comics every month to have a comic that should be in your mind, in your vernacular, in your eyesight pretty regularly to keep you interested, to have it be taken a while to, come out, right? Um, Sometimes people cannot avoid that. That's a thing. Sometimes people can avoid that, and I don't know. I don't know which which realm this one's going to fall under, but here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be very conservative with this one for a moment because I have had experience reading Tinian, excuse me. I keep on thinking Tiny Onion because that's the nickname on I think it's on his Substack or whatever, Tiny Onion. Um, for me, I have this thing with Tinian where I can get really into something, love where he's going with something, love what I'm seeing, love what I'm reading, love how everything's working together, and then he does not stick the landing. Um, this happened for me with his Batman run. Had some stuff built up that could have been really, really cool, and does not stick the landing. Um, did not stick the landing involving the fear state. Um, and I've heard that certain other titles he's done, he has problems sticking the landing. There's concepts that are really cool here. So this, I'm remaining cautiously optimistic about World Tree. Okay. Why am I cautiously optimistic about World Tree? Because it was so damn good. Um, it was so damn good in that it gave me feels of Escape from New York, Escape from LA. It gave me feels of all kinds of different stuff. Um, and I don't want to give it. I know this is a spoiler-tastic show, but I really don't want to give it away. If you haven't read World Tree number 5, take a look. It's in a book. It's the World Tree Rainbow. It's the Image cavalcade of comics. Read it, okay? It's it's fun. It's crazy. There are naked boobies in it, and who doesn't want to see boobies? You could be a straight woman and you'll be like, you know what? Those are some nice boobies. Those are some nice boobies drawn on that page, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. Just y'all, there are boobies in a fun story. Okay, you can be a straight woman and be like, those are some nice boobies on that page, and it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, so we basically what I will tell you is we're continuing the story where there's something going on. We had a nice little crazy little cliffhanger last time where we found out that Gabe, his sister, is the naked lady with the boobies that's going around killing a bunch of people or facilitating the death of a bunch of people. Either way, it's happening either way in this book. So there's this whole situation with the undernet, and I gotta arrange this again here. Let's see here. It's this whole situation with this kind of dark net kind of thing called the undernet, and how it's affecting people and what it's showing them and it's making them do. So like this whole series starts out with this kid killing a bunch of people, and you have Ellison, who's his older brother, coming across this whole situation, and we go back and forth in this issue between uh 2049 and present day. And 2049, it looks like Ellison is the only one running around, except for the fact that there's multiple naked booby ladies running around as well. Okay. And you have this, you go jumping back and forth between the past and what is that going on with oof, because of the way the sun's coming in. Yeah, guys, I need to work on this a little bit better. That's just how it's gonna be. That's just how it's gonna be. Um, we can fix this maybe. So, ooh, let me pause this for a second. So changing the perspective helps. I did it. I think I fixed the situation. So I kind of turned the computer a little bit and it made it a lot better. Fantastic. Anyways, so back to World Tree. So it goes back and forth in time, which is interesting. And I really like because it's very clear jumps in time, mostly because of what is actually being shown on the page. It's pretty freaking clear that these are jumps in time. Check out my Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane, behind me. That's the second Silver Age appearance of Catwoman. Um, I love some Catwoman. We'll be talking about her in a minute. Um, yeah, hold on one second. Gonna pause this again. And we're back. Back to World Tree. So basically, it's going to be doing this whole jumping around thing. And the sun is being weird again, but it's still better than it was. Anyways, so we've got this whole like jumping around thing. And like the sun is jumping around and being weird. I thought we were good, but apparently we're not. Let's see here. Maybe this is why I'm unknown channel. Anyways, so okay, we're gonna try to muddle through this. World Tree, so they got this whole back and forth kind of thing in time. You're going back in time, you're going forward in time more like to 2049. Um, I really hate how that's looking. And you guys are gonna see all of this because I don't edit. I don't edit, and so this is real. This is real here. This is real because I don't edit. This is real because I don't edit. Hold on one second. Okay, let's hurry because this is going to change. I swear to God, sometime soon. Anyways, um, so what we find out in the course of going back and forth in time with this story is that Gabe, upon dying to try to stop, he gets killed by his sister, the naked lady, and in order to try to stop what's happening in its tracks, he goes ahead and he kills the internet. That internet. Yeah, that internet. There's only one site left, and that's worldtree.net. And now he's leaving his friends because he's dying. He's dead to try and fix everything that's happened. Okay. And that's the end of the arc. Now, like I was saying, this has the capability of being something that could be really great or could easily go from being one of my favorite books each week or each month, I mean, to being something that I don't even finish. Because I I'm being more what's the word I want to look for? I'm being more selective in what I've been reading lately. So if something loses me, it loses me. Um, because you only have so much money and so much time. Um, in the yeah, like you only have so much time, so much money, and this is a really, really ambitious storyline at this point. Literally, Gabe turned off the entire internet, and you find out many years later that it's still gone. So, if we already know at this point that the internet is still gone in 2049, how do we get from this point to there and have it actually, one, make sense, two, matter? Like, so basically, we're just sitting here reading this book. This could very much end up being one of these situations where we're just sitting there reading this book, waiting for it to completely shit the bricks. Or he could take this really ambitious thing that he started and really show us something. Now, I'm hoping it's the latter, but we'll have to see. But for now, World Tree number 5, the end of that first arc is absolutely spectacular. Spectacular. It was great. It was a lot of fun reading it. Just the high stakes happening throughout that book, not just with the main characters, but with side characters as well. There's a lot of stakes going on with this, and there's a lot of impact and a lot of interesting twists and turns going on throughout this whole arc. So I am hopeful. I'm going to remain hopeful, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, next book that we're going to talk about is the I Told You It Was Coming. I Told You It Was Coming. It is Batman, Catwoman, the Gotham War battle lines. And basically, what it's doing here is it's drawing the battle lines. It's Bat versus Cat. Now, the beginning of this book is a continuation of Night Terrors. So, if you haven't read this yet and you're still here because you don't care about spoilers, I recommend reading Night Terrors, the final Night Terrors book, before you read the Gotham War battle lines, because it kicks off where Night Terrors ended, and basically Bruce Wayne is awaking from I told you I'd tell you earlier, an 8-week slumber. 8 weeks. Do we call that a 2-month coma at this point? I think so. Bruce Wayne wakes up from a 2-month coma. Literally. That's how it goes. And wakes to find out that in 2 months' time, shit's weird. Now, let's talk about these creators before I move on. This is Zdarsky, Howard, Hawthorne, Di Benedetto, and Fajaro Jr., with a Jorge Jimenez, God love him. Come on back. Come on back home to the Batman, Jorge. Jorge Jimenez, drawn cover. Thank you very much, Jorge Jimenez. Come back to the bat. Come back to the bat. Come back to the bat. This is a collaborative effort between Chip Zdarsky and Tini Howard that does not disappoint. We have two, count them, two Gotham main titles, Batman, Catwoman, participating in a crossover situation, crossover storyline involving Batman and Catwoman, and a war over their basically differing conventions and ideas of how things should work in Gotham. What happens when Batman wakes up? Well, one of the things he realizes right away is that everybody knows about his freaky Luke Skywalker like hand now. It's kind of hard to hide something like that when you're in a coma for 2 months. I'm just saying. Just saying. So, what else we know is that during this whole time that he's been asleep, and even outside of that, when he wakes up, Zur and R personalities are running amok in his head, getting ready to come out, and something happens at the end of this book that pretty much solidifies that this is going to happen. And I, for one, am really ready for Freaky Friday weirdo Batman. Come at me. Come at me, weirdo Batman. That Zur-En-Arr alien type weird stuff going on. I'm here for this. I just I'm gonna come on in here for a minute. Catwoman has developed a system where crime can happen, and violent crime is down. She done it. She done it. Okay. And so when she hears that Batman is awake, okay, she calls a meeting of the Bat family and herself to discuss terms, basically terms, and that when the Bat family finds out what's going on, some of them are like, I mean, am I crazy? But does she have a point? She basically says, what I've done is I have taken all these henchmen away from the major players here and got them to basically work for themselves, created this network where that can happen without people getting hurt. They don't go after people that are poor. They only go after rich people. They don't kill. They don't do anything. Well, all Batman hears is that Selena's group of freelancers only go after rich people, to which he says, "My parents are rich." Now, if you just, he yells it actually. He's quite offended. Um, and at first, when you think about it, it's just like, oh yeah, whatever, rich people, yeah, go after them. But the reason why, when you think about it, Batman is upset because his parents were killed by someone committing petty crimes. So he's not thrilled, but Selena's like, we couldn't get married because there was too much of a need for Batman, and now I've solved this issue, and you know, Gotham didn't need Batman, Gotham needed me. And yeah. So that meeting did not end well. You have some of the members of the Bat family that are like, I don't know, she may be onto something. Maybe we should hear her out. Things are better. Violent crime is down, all that, and all. Maybe we should listen to her. Batman's not having it. Batman's upset about all this, so he goes off on his own. What happens at that point is Jason Todd actually follows Catwoman home, and he's just like, "Man, you must be really upset over the whole, Bruce thing because you didn't even notice me following you. But I kind of like what you're doing, and I'd like to hear more." He's just like, I'm interested, um, which I predicted would happen because um, it's what he wanted to do when he came back as the Red Hood under the Red Hood, but could not do. Um, so Catwoman gets into a fight with him when he, sneaks into her home. Um, and so Dario's involved as well, and Eiko is involved. And eventually she's like, you know what? Go to this address, talk to Marquis, and see what we can do for you. She'll show you what we're doing, and all that. So after they get the good workout, Jason goes on his way to go check out the situation. You know, um, Batman ends up coming across a pretty tragic scene actually. One of Selena's freelancers has gotten himself killed by a person that he was trying to steal from. And that is something that kind of makes Batman snap a little bit. And that's the end of Battle Lines. He is definitely not into what Selena is selling. And so we'll have to see how that goes down in Batman because we've got a multiple personality situation, which is very unfortunate. Um, and we had the Bat family kind of fallen a little apart. So this is going to be interesting, and I'm here for it. So let's go. Anyways, we have one comic left to talk about, guys, and if you have been paying attention, I have been reading The Incredible Hulk. This is my top comic of the week. Holy crap. This continuation of The Incredible Hulk that's been doing kind of a horror based thing where the monster is trying to take control over Bruce Banner. And this whole entire issue is basically the monster trying to get out of the situation with the cultists, the zombie cultists, and the girl is there. She's trying to get his attention and help. And, you know, the monster, the Hulk, is not necessarily having it. Um, and eventually she has to, after he has to save her a couple times, she proves herself to him, and they go ahead and it's like lone wolf and cub, except not. um all the Hulk asks is do not work with Bruce Banner. If I feel like you're helping Bruce Banner, then we're done. But until then, if you don't do that, you can hang, kid. You can hang. Um, so they go walking off together, and there's some really cool shit in here. She basically she asks him, is so it's true, there really are two of you in there? And Hulk is like, no, I'm not much longer. Hulk is definitely not into the idea of keeping Bruce Banner around. He wants to become the dominant personality, the dominant being there. And they get some more information about the cultists. They fight this big bad monster, and Hulk basically takes it down, like he's just getting his daily workout in. Um, this is just the paneling and the way that it's designed. Like, take a look at this. Like, that's pretty freaking brilliant. And basically, you have no actual actual dialogue on this page. It is just basically Hulk, like I said, getting his workout in with this big monster. Um, in fact, for like, let's see here, just a few pages. There's only like one, two, three, 4 lines of dialogue from the Hulk. Um, this is a lot of fun. I gotta read off the I forgot to read off the creative team here. Hold on. Very lovely Marvel Remembers John Romita section here in the beginning of the book. So that's lovely as well. This is that Old Time Religion Part 2. Philip Kennedy Johnson is the writer. Bravo, good sir. Nick Klein is the artist. Bravo, good sir. Let me tell you, the depth and shadowing on this and the coloring on this, Matthew Wilson. Well done lettering, VC's Corey Pettit, cover artist. This is not the Nick Klein cover artist. This is actually Frank Miller and Alex Sinclair. Um, I love this Frank Miller cover. It's awesome. Um, but some of the coloring and everything like that, and um, I love how when Bruce Banner's hair is long, um, Hulk's hair is long as well. I like that as well. Um, I love how they're telling the story of the old beings, um, the Brother Deep telling the story, and how they have that set up where they have the voice, the zombie telling the story, and then just how it goes like that, and then Brother Deep shows himself. I love the whole culty religion stuff and all that kind of keeping up the appearance there from the previous issues. Very interesting, and like I said, we've got this whole weird, demented lone wolf and cub situation going on with the girl and the monster, the Hulk. And I wasn't even gonna read this. I wasn't even gonna read this series, and everyone convinced me to read it. Yep, here I am. I am swayed, easily swayed into reading things that I was not going to read before. This has been me, easily swayed all the time. Anyways, guys, that's it for the comics this week. Um, I had a great time reading them. I hope you had a great time watching the review, even though we had problems with the way that the lighting and video looked. I I try my best sometimes, guys. But anyways, oh, what else? What else do we want to talk about? Yeah, the CBC Awards.org. Please go and vote for your favorite comic book channels, whether it be me or anyone else. Get in there, put that vote in, make your voice heard, make your thoughts heard, and if you happen to vote for me, well then, all the merrier. Anyways, guys, this we're about done here. We're about done here. Stay tuned to the channel as I'm going to be doing more regular reviews on things other than the weekly comics. Hopefully, I can get that going, and that would be a lot of fun. I can't wait to do that with you guys. So, anyways, like I said, this has been the officially unofficial geek spoilertastic comic review. Um, and until next time, keep your eyes and ears open. If you see something, say something. And remember, the complacent never make a difference. I'll be seeing ya. Bye.